Chapter 5, Word Problems, continued. Here we go, looking at number 9. One leg of a right triangle is 1 inch shorter than the other. If the hypotenuse is 5 inches long, find the length of the shorter leg. Well, if we remember anything about Pythagorean triples, we remember there's such a thing as a 3, 4, 5 right triangle, so the shortest leg must be 3. But let's say we didn't know that. What we do know is leg 1 squared plus leg 2 squared equals hypotenuse squared. So that's going to be x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 25. Okay. So we can sum like terms. So I'm going to get 2x squared plus 2x equals 24. So I can divide everything by 2. So I can get x squared plus x to equal 12. So I can do this a few different ways. I can subtract 12, get x squared plus x minus 12 equals 0. Alright, and I can x factor this thing. Product of negative 12 and a sum of positive 1. Alright. Product of negative 12 and a sum of positive 1. So I need a positive and a negative number. So the only thing I can think of that would work in this case is a negative 3 and a positive 4. So my answers are going to be, well, x minus 3 times x plus 4 equals 0. So x minus 3 equals 0, so x equals 3. Or x plus 4 equals 0, or x equals negative 4. Well, the only real solution that works is x equals 3. So our shortest leg must be 3. Okay, next example. A ladder resting against a wall. The top of the ladder touches the wall at a height of 15 feet. So I got 15 feet. Find the distance from the wall to the bottom of the ladder if the length of the ladder is 1 foot more than twice the distance from the wall. So we're going to make the distance x. So the hypotenuse is twice the length plus 1. So again, we can use Pythagorean theorem. So we know side squared plus side squared equals hypotenuse squared. Okay. So that's going to be x squared plus 15 times 15 should be 225 equals, okay, let's distribute this. So it'd be just like saying 2x plus 1 times itself. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared, okay, plus 4x plus 1. So get everything to one side of the equation. Let's set this thing equal to 0. So we're going to have 3x squared plus 4x minus 224. Just plug this in to your quadratic equation. So I got negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. So here we go. Let's do the math real quick. What is 4 times negative 3 times 224? It's going to be negative 4 plus or minus. Once we do the square root, it's going to be 52 over 6. Okay, well, we can rule out the negative one because it won't be a negative number. So negative 4 plus 52 is 48. So 48 divided by 6 is 8. So my distance from the wall is 8. Is that what it asked for? Find the distance from the wall to the bottom of the ladder. So x equaled 8, so the answer is 8 feet. It didn't ask for the hypotenuse, but it would have been 17 feet. Mrs. Kirk is building a rectangle garden box. The height is 3 more than the width. Okay, so the height is 3 more than the width. And the width and the length is 6 more than the width. So write the volume equation, factored form and in standard form. Okay. So the height is 3 more than the width. So that's going to be 3 plus the width. And the length is 6 more than the width. So 6 plus the width. There you go. So I have a height of 3 plus the width. I have a length of 6 plus the width. And I have the width of W. Write this in factored form. Alright. So there's factored form. Now let's put it in standard form. So 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times W is 3W. W times 6 is 6W. And W times W is W squared. So that's going to be 18 plus 9W plus W squared. Don't forget the other W. So here we go. So I'm going to have W cubed plus 9W squared plus 18W. That is our volume. Okay, probably not going to have one like that on the test. Okay. Number 12, the length of a rectangle is 2 times its width. The area is 72. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. So the length is 2 times the width. Alright, the area of the rectangle is 72 inches squared. So 2W squared equals 72. So W squared equals 36. So W is going to equal plus or minus 6, but 6 is the only real way it works. So the dimensions would be 6 is the W, and the length would be 12. So I'd have 6 by 12 would be the dimensions. And it'd be inches. Alright. The length of a rectangle is 4 meters less than twice the width. Okay. The length is 4 meters less than twice the width. So 2W minus 4. There's the width. Find the dimensions if its area is 30 meters squared. So just W times 2W minus 4 equals 30. So 2W squared minus 4W equals 30. Subtract 30 to each side. 2W squared minus 4W minus 30 equals 0. Divide everything by 2, so I get W squared minus 2W minus 15 equals 0. Let's X factor this, see if we can figure it out. Okay. I have a negative 15 and a negative 2. I need two numbers. One's got to be negative, one's got to be positive, that have a product of 15 and a sum of negative 2. What's going to be negative 5 and 3. So it's going to be x minus 5 times x plus 3. So my answers are going to be 5 and negative 3. So find the dimensions. We plug it in. Our width is 5. Our length is 2 times 5 minus 4. Our length must be 6. So my dimensions are 5 by 6, and it was in meters squared, so meters. Alright. Okay, we're going to move on. Number 15. The product of two consecutive integers is 5 more than 3 times the larger. Find the integers. So I got two consecutive integers. I got x and x plus 1. So the product of those two, so x times x plus 1, equals is 5 more than 3 times the larger. Find the integers. Okay, so I get x squared plus x equals 5 plus 3x plus 3. So let's get everything to one side of the equation. So I'm going to get x squared minus 3x to each side, so minus 2x, that's 8, so minus 8 equals 0. Alright, so my a times c value is negative 8, my b value is negative 2, two numbers that have a product of negative 8 and a sum of negative 2, so negative 4 and 2 seems to work. So I'm going to rewrite my equation, x minus 4 times x plus 2 equals 0. So each side can equal 0, so x minus 4 equals 0. So x could be 4. Let's see if that works. 4 times 5 is 20, and 5 plus 3 times the bigger number is 20, so 20 equals 20, so 4 works. The next answer is x equals negative 2. Alright, so negative 2 and 1. Product of that would be 2. My bigger number is negative 1, so 5 plus 3 times the number negative 1 equals 2. So x equals negative 2 or 4. Alright. So that kind of takes us through. We'll do the last one. Find 3 consecutive integers such that 4 times the sum of all 3 is 2 times the product of the larger 2. So 3 consecutive integers. So I could have an x, I could have an x minus 1, and an x plus 1. That'd be 3 consecutive. So that 4 times the sum, so 4 times x minus 1 plus x plus 1 is equal to 2 times the product of the last 2. So my 1's cancel, so it's going to be 3x in the box. 4 times 3x is 12x. Over here, we're going to distribute 2x to everything. So that's going to equal 2x squared plus 2x. So subtract 12x to each side. So I get 0 equals 2x squared minus 10x. Okay, we can factor this out pretty quickly. Divide everything by 2, so I get x equals x squared minus 5x. I can factor out an x, I get x times x minus 5. So that tells me our x has to equal 0 or 5. So plug it back in. Our middle number is 0, so if I had negative 1, 0, and 1, 4 times the sum of all 3 is 2 times the product. That would work. Okay, and the other one was 5. So I could have 4, 5, and 6. So 3 consecutive numbers, so that would be 45. Find 3 consecutive numbers at 4 times, so that would be 60. Yep, that all works. So again, 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 5 is 15, so 4 times 15 is 60. Alright, and then a product of 2 times the product of the last 2 numbers is also 60, so that works. So here's what you need to do for the word problems. Understand how to set your word problems up. Alright, the biggest thing is make sure you understand velocity, how to set those up, how to set the parabolas up, okay? They should be straightforward.